How's it going, everyone? This is Nintenjoe25 and I am back with a brand new video. Now in this video I have 3 special guests with me and we're going to talk about arcades that never got a home port. So check it out.
What do you get when you take one cool thing and mix it with another? You get Dungeons & Dragons Shadows over Mistara.
Welcome to the D&D world.
This game is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. The story picks up after defeating the Archlich Diamos. The heroes continued their journey through the broken lands of Glantry. After realizing that Diamos is only one part of an even greater evil plan, he was in fact being used by a mysterious sorceress named Sin. Now that Diamos has been defeated, Sin vows to punish the lands that she desired. Shadow over Mistara follows the same premise as Tower of Doom, where the player gets to choose from 6 classic D&D classes to play as. There's a thief, an elf, a dwarf, a fighter, a magic user, and a cleric. And yes, back in old D&D days, elf and dwarf were considered classes, not races, all of which have their own stats, skills, and spells to help you and 3 others traverse through the different levels. But the thing that sets this game apart from most arcade beat-em-ups is the ability to choose how to get to the end of the game. You have multiple decisions to make between each levels that will determine how you progress through the rest of the game, which makes replaying this game very desirable because you want to go back and play the levels that you didn't get to see the first time around. Let me give you an example here. After beating one of the levels, I was approached by a little tiny gnome asking me to help his village that was being attacked by goblins. Well, I could say, let the village burn and continue on my way towards the end of the game, or take a detour and curb stomp some goblins. Naturally, I go with the latter and say, why not? Now, did I get any sort of reward for taking this detour? Yeah, not significant, but you know, it was fun to do. But the best part about this was, since I did take this detour, after helping, they shrunk me down to their own size and I got to explore their village, which still, again, didn't really add anything as far as like reward value, but it was just cool to do. And that's what D&D is. It was just a specific moment in my campaign. It was something memorable, so it was worth it to me. I do have a few gripes with this game, mainly the way that spells are cast. It stops the entire game, the flow of battle when you cast spells, and really, when you're playing a class that is using magic, that's gonna stop the game a whole lot because that's your main source of attacking. And the main reason why I love Tower of Doom and Shadow over Mistara so much is because it somehow captures that feeling of the original tabletop games in a brilliant way by letting the player choose their adventure, which is what D&D is all about. Okay, so we know the game is good, but what console would I want a physical port for? And you know, it already has one, kinda, in Japan only on the Sega Saturn, so this video is still valid, right? But anyway, I would probably have to say the Nintendo Switch because it's the most versatile console that's out right now. You know, not the most powerful, but it doesn't need to be for this game. You can take it anywhere, you know, you can have couch co-op, up to 4 players online, yada yada. Yeah, so I would have to say the Nintendo Switch. You can take older games, put them onto the Switch, make them relevant again, and I think that's what makes the Switch awesome. So thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe to Nintenjoe and everyone else on this collab. Thanks for including me, and I'll see you guys next time in the Nerd Lair. Stay nostalgic.
That's pretty interesting. I had no idea that it was even out on a console at all. But it only came out in Japan, so that's really, really weird to me. I always thought that game was pretty big here in the States, but apparently not. So that's pretty interesting, and I agree. The game is really good. I enjoy playing that game in the arcade, and I also have it as a digital only on the Wii U, or was it the Wii? Oh well. Anyways, so thank you so much for that, Sean. That's really, really cool. It's an awesome game. So you guys should definitely check out the Nerd Lair. I'll leave a link to his YouTube down below.
Spiral Smash! Ha! Hey guys, Linda aka the Gamergirl, and Nintenjo asked me to think of plenty of arcade games, but which ones were not ported to any console, and to decide, what console should I put them on? So I thought long and hard, looked at several, and I said, you know what? You know there's a game that not many people talk about anymore? Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. You heard me correctly. I would like a port of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs because it was a weird, eclectic beat 'em up that I found only in a couple arcades, for the simple fact that there's a part where there's bosses destroying dinosaurs. Literally the first boss you walk up to, and he starts whacking a dinosaur on the head. And you're like, what the hell kind of game is this? Once you get through to the second boss, he's shanking a dinosaur. And the list goes on and on. Like, it literally was the weirdest thing ever to see all the bosses doing stupid stuff to dinosaurs. And I loved the characters. The protagonists were my favorite. Especially the female. She was the best. Just look her up. She's hilarious. Now, the two males, they cracked me up also. But the one thing that I loved was... You're gonna laugh at this too, guys, but... the one that says, I'm a bam mamma jamma. So, off the top of my head, that is the one that I would like to see on the Nintendo Switch. For the simple fact that the Nintendo Switch, it's the perfect platform because of the fact that beat 'em ups, you know, we don't got a lot. Now the reason why I want it on the Switch is because there's a lot of stuff getting ported to the Switch. Why not keep the trend going? Why not add to the beautifulness of when I can take it on the go? That's the main reason I want that. It's like I can get it on the go and I can play and enjoy my beat 'em up that I have never seen on a console. The second one, yes, but the rest I don't want. I want the first one, the glorious, beautiful first one. And that's my time. Thank you guys. I'm gonna throw it back to Nintenjoe25.
Dude, yes. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was an awesome beat 'em up. I loved that game so much. I played it a lot in the arcade, and when I discovered MAME, of course I had to get it, and I played the living crap out of that game. It is a lot of fun, and I also find it humorous that you get to punch dinosaurs. That's kind of weird, but yeah, whatever. It's still a lot of fun, and like you said, Linda, it has its funny moments. It's really goofy and off the wall, and I don't know. I just love it. I think it's a fantastic beat 'em up. So yeah, thank you so much, Linda, for that pick, and thank you for being a part of this collab. It's awesome to have you here. And guys, please check out her channel. I'll leave the link to her YouTube channel down below as well.
What's going on, Nintenjo and the rest of you gamers out there? Chris here with Telesplash Gaming, and we're talking about arcade games that I wish got a console port. Now, this is a classic from Konami. Now, Konami was so big in the 90s doing their beat-em-up games with games like X-Men, Ninja Turtles, but the one that I'm talking about is The Simpsons. Now, The Simpsons came out in 1991, and it was the first video game released in North America featuring the famous family. Now, The Simpsons itself was a smash hit television show, but this arcade game was the best. It might be the best Simpsons game released. I know there's some pretty unique games for the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, but compared to this, those games are trash. The Simpsons is a classic beat 'em up, and you play as one of the 4 members because the 5th member, Little Maggie, was kidnapped, and you have to rescue her. So you play as Bart, Homer, Marge, or Lisa, and you use their unique talents as your specific weapon, as your specific move set, and you play through a plethora of levels. And let me tell you, I didn't beat this game in arcade. I used some modern day resources to play it, and this was a quarter muncher. As fun as this game was, the sound effects, the visuals, it had everything that you loved about The Simpsons, but this game was not easy. To play this and beat it as a kid, you would have had to spend dollar upon dollar upon dollar. It was one of those classic arcade games that was meant to eat your quarters. We never saw a true release. Now I say that because it did get released on the Commodore 64 and MS-DOS, but who really has that version? That's like a relic at this point. And then in 2012, it got released for the PS3 and the Xbox, online only, digital, but then that disappeared. They literally removed it from the service, some copyright issue. So even though it may have gotten a very, very limited run, it hasn't been released again, and there's really no way to play this game other than through emulation or finding a local arcade. So for me, I would love to play The Simpsons. It's one of the best beat 'em ups of the 90s, and one of my favorite memories of going to multiple arcades, throwing quarters in, rounding up some friends, and trying to get through a few levels. So if you have not had a chance to play The Simpsons, it is amazing. One of the best beat 'em up side-scroller games you could play, and it has so much nostalgia for you Simpsons fans out there. So for me, if I could play a game that was released back in the day in arcade on modern consoles, it would be The Simpsons.
Yeah, I mean, The Simpsons Arcade, that game was a lot of fun. I played that a lot in the arcades as well, and I was always Bart because he kind of like played like the Ninja Turtles did, like with a special attack, he did like a jump and like whack attack or whatever, and he gets to beat people over the head with a skateboard. That's awesome. That's my kind of violence right there. So yeah, that game is a ton of fun, and oddly enough, I mean, I can't believe that The Simpsons was actually a beat 'em up game in the arcade. Like in my head, it's like, well, this shouldn't work, but it does work. I don't know how Konami did it, but they did a fantastic job with that arcade, and I kind of wish it came out on the home systems. Like especially, back in the day for the Super Nintendo, I think it would have been awesome on the Super Nintendo. Even if they had like dumbed it down a little bit, like with Turtles in Time. And Turtles in Time was freaking amazing too. So, yeah, dude, The Simpsons. You can't go wrong with that game, that's for sure. So thank you so much, Chris, for that. That is an awesome pick. And guys, check out Telesplash Gaming. I'll leave a link to his YouTube down below in the description. And now it's for my pick. Alright guys, so my pick would have to be Metamorphosis Forest, released by Konami
in 1993.
So the plot of the game is the evil king Death Shadow, ruler of the Empire of Horror, who has come back from the dead to rule the world once more. The Greek goddess Athena has summoned the souls of 4 ancient guardians and bestowed their power upon 4 heroes to stop evil once more. These guardians wield the ability to morph into anthropomorphic beasts to kick evil right in the balls. Our heroes are Ben, who is a martial artist, was given the soul of a fighting bull, so he turns into a minotaur, naturally. Claude, a swordsman who uses the rapier, has the soul of a white wolf, transforms into a white werewolf. Max, a fighter with a boxing style, has the soul of the Black Panther, thus transforms into a were-panther. Ivan, a hunter and wrestler who fights with a small log, has the soul of a bear, so he transforms into you guessed it, a werebear. In order for our heroes to morph into these beautiful freaks, they must collect the Golden Statue power-up. And if they collect the Golden Statue again, while in their fabulous beast forms, they do a Nightcrawler-ish attack where they dash back and forth, killing all enemies on the screen, with the exception of the werebear, who just bounces around like a lunatic. There are 6 levels where you fight anthropomorphic beasts like frogs, elephants, lizards, hedgehogs, and boars. Some of the bosses include Karabos, the Ram Man, who is like the pagan god, Baphomet, and is armed with a scythe, a flaming chicken man, yes, a flaming chicken man, who wields a sword, and an Amazon demoness and a were-dragon. What's with the were creatures in this game? That's really weird to me. There are 2 bonus stages in the game. One at the end of the 2nd level where you destroy a statue, and then at the end of the 4th level you have to kill a string of normal enemies and pillars in a fast auto-scrolling segment. Both bonus levels reward you with extra points and health. Now there's a few differences between the US version and the Japanese version of this game. The US version of the game uses a numeric life point counter that doubles as a timer, similar to the Gauntlet games, which I hate! While the Japanese version uses a traditional health bar. The 5th stage in the US version consists of a boss rush where you fight the previous bosses before fighting that level's boss, while the Japanese version is just a boss. So yeah, besides a few weird points in the game, I honestly enjoy this game. I played it a lot. I think I played this game a lot on MAME, mostly. I've never heard of the game till I discovered MAME, and I kind of wish I played in the arcade because the game's a lot of fun. It kind of plays similar to X-Men. It's a really good game. You guys should definitely check it out if you haven't already. Very cool stuff, and also by Konami, like the Simpsons and Nintenjoe and all that fun stuff. So yeah, if I were to pick a old school system, it would have to be PlayStation, for sure. Only because I feel like it could handle it better. It'll be more closer to the arcade. Or maybe the Super Nintendo might pull it off as well if they dumbed it down like they did with Ninja Turtles. But yeah, for as far as like the current consoles, all of them. I mean, why limit to just one system? Just whoever wants to play should be able to play it. Just release it as a physical copy. Do like what Capcom did when they released like a bundle of fighters. I think that's brilliant, and I think that Konami should do the same thing with the Simpsons, and they should do the same thing with the Ninja Turtles, and that once they get the proper licenses to do so. And they have a bunch of other games that never came out to ports that I would love to see. So yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, what arcade games that you thought would be really cool on a home console back in the day or in the current gen? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out the Nerd Lair, Linda aka the Gamergirl, Telesplash Gaming. They are awesome people, really good friends of mine, and I'm so glad that they agreed to do this collab with me. It means a lot to me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. Please like this video as well. Share it with your friends, with your family, with your grandparents, with your cousins, with your pets, whatever. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't heard by now, which I'm sure you have because I see it in every video, I am part of a podcast called Ridoctopus, where we talk about all things that make growing up awesome, which is TVs, movies, toys, commercials, music, anything from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Awesome stuff. I'll leave a link below to the show so you guys can listen to it. It's a really good show. I'm really proud of how far we've come on the show, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it retro, be nice to each other, and take care.